Hi Leahs, my name is Griselle. I'm with Psychic MD and I wanted to do your reading. So let's get started. One thing I did want to mention, I will be using John Holland's deck as well as these nifty little healing cards by Carolyn Mize and Peter O. Once again, I can't pronounce his last name, so we're going to kind of skip that and pretend I know how to pronounce it. So this is your December reading, Leo. And my intention is to look for healing and positivity in your life at this point in time, okay? So I'd like to know, what do Leos have having in December? What can we look forward to that's going to help us grow? Help us be in a better place, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Messages only for Leo at this time. Okay. So right now we have mental conflict, which is not a huge surprise, right? So with the mental conflict, we see a lot of different colors. I'm looking at greens. I'm looking at purples. And everything is in conflict. The blue portion of the border talks about your throat chakra, speaking your truth, being able to express yourself and communicate effectively. But as you notice, it's also a vibration of number 2, personal power, of balance, of, in some ways, equality. But most of all, just being able to speak your truth. And I notice how the border is really so thin. There's not a ton of blue here, more green than anything, which leads me to believe that there's more balance that we need to have in our speech as it pertains to our heart, okay? So what I mean by that is our chakras go from the bottom to the top, and they get affected accordingly. So if the first 3 are kind of blocked, the 4th one will be affected as well, and so on and so forth. So it's important that we're all in alignment. And what I see here is that speech is impaired at this point in time, and it's having a lot to do with our heart chakra, our emotional growth, what makes us happy, all of those heart-centered things, okay? So, messages only for Leo at this point in time for December 2020. I kind of have to smirk when I see this. I'm like, the waiting game. And if you guys don't know, you might have guessed by now, I am a Leo. So waiting is not in my vocabulary. Overthinking is. Now, I don't condone it. It's just how I made up. I don't know how else to express it. So right here we have the waiting game. And it's going to take a couple of cycles for things to get into a better place for us. Now be careful, because we could really delay progress because we're overthinking things, overanalyzing. We're of 2 minds. I even see 2 minds right here, okay? One of them is also like red in the face. Maybe it's like you experience some embarrassment, a setback in life, or angry, which I can totally relate to. So, interesting. Okay, so both of those have the number 2 on there, by the way. Another thing I want to point out on this one, the waiting game, obviously the hourglass is going to take some time. We need to set down roots. It's going to take time to set down roots in order for us to really help with the growth above, with all the leaves, with the trees and the branches, to be more abundant, I'm going to say. So we need to lay down roots. Maybe even it's going towards a past and putting down roots, or finding roots that we left behind in the past, okay? So roots in some way, shape, or form are going to be important to you, Leo. I feel like ancestry at this point in time is going to play a key role in December as well. So maybe you're looking at your ancestry and doing that whole ancestry.com, or looking at your genealogy, looking at where you came from. It's very, very possible that you might even start investigating a little bit more about what your ancestors did, where they came from, how they traveled, what they did in life. I feel like you're going to look at things and go, we've come full circle. I'm doing the same thing in some ways, okay? So however that pertains to you. Again, this is a general, so take it. Whatever pertains, great. Whatever doesn't, toss it. It's no big deal. The next card I have here is Wisdom. And so I really love this card, not only because it's like a wise old guy here, but he's looking at the family in the distance, and you have his little bald head right here, which, you know, obviously it comes with age. Well, maybe not obviously, I shouldn't say that. Some people go bald early in life. But traditionally, or in our stereotypical thinking, right? I want to point out, like, the sun is really powerful in this imagery. And the sun, for me, has a lot to do with their second and third chakra, which would be the sacral and the solar plexus. Now, the solar plexus is all about, like, your personal power and being able to move forward in a way that makes you, like, really true to yourself, your most authentic self. That's what keeps you, like, balanced and in harmony with all things. And I think it's going to be really important at this time to be able to pay attention to that chakra, okay? Now, right here, I feel like with wisdom, you're also looking at loyalty. Not only like what's transpired in the past, but like who's been loyal to me, who are you loyal to as well? All of those questions, I think, are going to have an effect on how you feel emotionally and how you develop in December. Now, when I say develop, I don't mean like you're 5 and you're growing up or anything like that, obviously, but I just mean from where you are today into the person that you're going to evolve into, because we all have a way that we're just changing, growing, and evolving, and some of us are digressing, so it just really depends on your personal perspective of things and what you choose to do. Okay, so dear Leo, this is another thing I want to say. You have a positive movement forward coming up. It says positive movement forward. Okay, so I want to show you this. Now take a look at this. You're navigating. It's like literally a sea full of emotion. I always view water, not always, but a lot of times, is emotion. And emotion, I mean, it's like blue waters, borderline purple. And I think it's like very spiritual. I think that the way you're headed, you're going to evaluate life. And you're not the first one, by the way, in December. But I see here, it's like visiting things from the past, from your roots, all of those things. So I think that has a bearing on what's going on. And with that, you're going to choose to navigate differently in a positive way forward. Any choices that you made in the past that made you feel like you're going around and around and around, you're headed nowhere, spinning your wheels, things like that, I want to say that that is going to be ending because you're moving about with purpose. The sail is all ready to go. This person, they have a destination in mind and they're just going somewhere, okay? Now, do you feel like you have a little bit of an ability to see what's ahead? And that's when you feel more comfortable moving forward, which makes sense to us. We're like really logical, especially if you're, excuse me, somebody who's always in your mind trying to analyze things. So, excuse me, you want a plan going, right? But I want to say that you don't have your fullest, highest perspective just yet, okay? I think that you're gaining momentum, gaining perspective, and gaining that ascension, if there is such a thing. I know everybody thinks differently, okay? So I'm just going to talk, I guess, the way that I understand things and the way that I have grown. So I want to say that in your spiritual matters, you're going to be gaining momentum and gaining a higher perspective, and that's going to really help navigate the waters for you. It's going to make it clear for you. You're going to have that steady movement forward. You're going to be like, I can progress. It might take a long time, or it might take a little time. Regardless, I'm leaving where I'm at because it no longer becomes me. It doesn't fall in line with my lower 3 chakras, meaning it doesn't give me stability, it doesn't give me joy, and it doesn't fulfill and shine like who I am as a person, dear Leo. Okay, so I love that. Another thing I want to point out about this, it is the number 8. The first 2 cards that we pulled up are both 2s, again, about balance and personal power. And I can't help but notice the sun right here and the sail. What's moving this little boat and compelling besides the wind is the sail itself, being able to harness the wind, being able to help the wind work for itself. And so I think that here in December, you're going to find a way to be able to harness that wind, that energy that we all seek, that oomph, that zeal, that joy for life, that like, I'm hungry, let's go. Let's do this. Let's just go and have a different life. Let's dive into things and proceed in a forward fashion without like overcomplicating, without overthinking things, without overstimulating anything, just going in a step-by-step process. Part of what I think is going to be affected also, dear Leo, is your throat chakra. I think that you're going to learn how to speak a lot more clearly. The cool part about this is that these guys are really peaceful. They're calm. It's almost like you feel like you can speak your truth, and it's not a big deal. People accept it or they don't, and you're not persuaded one way or another. And indeed, I feel like you're not even going to notice it any longer. And for Leo, I think we really are always so concerned about what other people think or what they're talking about or whatever. At least a lot of us in our younger years, that we really kind of lose ourselves in our own inner voice, okay? So if this pertains, again, take the message. If not, keep it moving. I want to point out that that is a number 8. It stands for growth, abundance, but also personal cycles. So it could be that this is a cycle where you start moving, and hopefully it's not a cycle that you start looping, like redoing things over and over again. I don't feel that, and I don't see that, okay? The less you stay in this energy, learn how to harness this the very way that we're going to harness the wind to work for us in that sail. You're going to harness your mind. You're not going to be double-minded. You're not going to be red in the face and embarrassed about stuff. Who cares? You're not going to be red in the face and angry. You're not going to be of two minds. You're going to regroup all of your inner resources, which is you. That's all we can really control, and move forward, okay? If you can please like, share, subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. That's going to help me to be able to do more of these videos in the future, okay? So I want to smile, okay, because I just shuffled them once really, really good. And here I'm pulling cards for your Leo reading. But here I have a crown chakra, and it's like this beautiful, gorgeous, like indigo color. Now, there's been a lot of talk about how the colors, the last two chakras, your 6th and 7th chakra, seem to be a little bit of a dispute or debate, whatever you want to call it. For the sake of being smooth in this reading, we're just going to go ahead and go with the colors that they're providing here, okay? Because sometimes people say it's like white or clear on your crown chakra, and that's usually how I think of things. But in this reading, your crown chakra is like an indigo. So it's incredibly gorgeous. It's stunning. It's almost like a natural color. And I want to say this has everything to do with opening up your mind, of getting rid of old mindsets that have really confined you, have trapped you, have left you no room for negotiation, no room for growth, no room for movement forward, right? It feels like all of these constraints have come directly from our minds. And so we are overcoming those things. I see positive movement forward. This can be in the form of you getting messages from Spirit yourself, in the form of getting dreams. Sometimes we can have dreams if you're not quite ready and open to Spirit in that way. Sometimes you'll have dreams that are really prophetic, or that's a scary word to use for some people. Let's say symbolic. Dreams that are symbolic, they can tell you like what's happening currently, what's going on in your life. They could be like messages. But regardless, however you choose to interpret, because language is language is language. It doesn't make a difference, okay? So if you speak sign language, it's still a language. If you speak Spanish, English, Korean, any language, it's like an agreed upon communication. So once you start speaking and communicating with Spirit, it's in a manner that you yourself understand. It's not a cookie cutter for anyone, because we all speak differently. We use mannerisms, facial expressions, body language, inflection of your voice. All of those things factor into communication. Your close proximity, anything, lighting, everything can communicate a vast amount of information, right? So Leo, be open to the fact that you will be getting communication from Spirit, from your higher self, God, whomever. And that is going to be a really good thing, because it's going to break the mold that you've been stuck in, break the cycle. It's going to enable you to have better and deeper roots and better cycles, it's going to help you to move in a positive way forward. It's going to give you a lot of wisdom as well. So I feel a lot of peace with this reading so far. And of course, we have to have a little, what do they call it? A wrench. A wrench in the monkey? No. Like a monkey wrench? Okay. So obviously, I don't work with wrenches. But the next card that we have is financial and material changes. Now, initially, I was like, because I could really do without seeing a lot more challenges this year. Like a lot of us were just kind of like, oh my goodness, can this not be so difficult? Give me 1 month where it's like I'm calm, a little bit peaceful, and things are falling into place. Now, can you see what my struggle is, guys? Or the bane of my existence is having anger issues. Yes. So I apologize, but it's true. I have no patience. And I worked on that my whole life. Like it or not, I have to. But my point in the matter is financial and material changes. Okay, so look at the border. Border is red-ish. Yeah, it's red. Okay. So red stands for stability. And then I have the number 5 here for changes all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different, like, aspected colors. It could stand for like the 4 directions of the earth. I'm also noticing like the fingers. So depending on what color you're drawn to, you might want to like check this out and see what color you're drawn to the most. You can do a really quick Google search. Pardon me. And take a look like what is drawing my attention personally are the first 2 fingers, and I'm also just noticing the rings quite a bit. So whatever you notice on here, I would say just Google it, because there might be a personal message in there that really makes sense to you. The 2 index fingers are pointing at the red, which is once again your finances, your sense of being, your home life. I'm feeling secure, my work life, and feeling stable. Like things are just stable and you're rooted. So for me, it's addressing my roots and how I'm rooted in society today. So that's what I see. But for some of you, it can indicate your commitment to your spirituality. That's what I see here. If you're focused on this ring and the indigo, I did notice that as a heavy second, by the way. So it's like, how committed are you to doing better, to bettering yourself in a spiritual manner, to ascending, to growing, to better connecting, communicating with your higher self, with God, with spirit, with angels, whatever it is that you choose for your own spiritual well-being, right? So, and so on and so forth. So then you have your thumb, and I affiliate that with the heart chakra, not the thumb itself, but the thumb, that's nothing you would have to Google, because each finger pertains to something. And frankly, that's like above and beyond what I can help you with right now. But let's stick to the facts. So anyways, you're going to go and do that little search, because I feel like this can give you like another message in a window. We have many different ways that we can choose for the month of December on what we can focus on. And it's not like we can't focus on all of them, but I feel like 1 or 2 are going to be the heaviest, and everything else comes second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on and so forth, okay? But a lot of changes, a lot of fluctuations, financial and material changes. You know what? I'm ready for those. I am not going to lie. I am so done. I am so done with how this year has been. And some of it, some of it has been my attempts to grow beyond where I was. So, the next card I have is Triumph, which makes me really happy. You guys, if you've been working on things, have your heart set in something, you're trying to make really good choices, things that balance you out, things that help you spiritually, things that help you have a better communication system with your family, your friends, a better life overall, whatever it is that you're focused on, you are going to experience triumph in December, okay? And I say that because obviously that's the card Triumph. I want you guys to notice also the number 7. It's an extremely spiritual card. So I think that could be highlighted. Also, I have here like a dark horse. I see the horse usually is freedom. This can be also, some people are really battling with what they call the dark night of the soul. If you don't know about that, once again, you can Google that. But it has to do with getting an awakening on what the world is, what spirit really is, and what your role in things are, or where you're headed, anything like that that causes you that form of enlightenment that can cause you like some pain, some depression. People don't really understand you and things like that. So it's not your regular, I don't want to say worldly feelings about matters. It's a deeper, more spiritual side of aspected things. Okay? I don't know if I explained that right, but if you want more information, Google the Dark Night of the Soul. You'll get plenty of information. So once again, I do want to highlight the guy is holding a red flag, which I think is, he's fierce. He's like, I'm going. And for me, red, again, is your root chakra. So it has a lot to do with your stability. And I may be battling mentally within yourself over things like that. But I think it's a good thing. I see triumph here. Whatever it is that you choose, don't be of double mind. Make your choice. Proceed in a manner that's orderly. X, Y, Z. Let me tell you, I am not, I know it's hard to believe, I'm not the most orderly person in my mind when it comes like methodical. But here I see, making a schedule, adhering to a schedule, making little tick marks whenever you get them done. Anything like that that's going to help you proceed and achieve your goals. I encourage you to do that because I have been doing that. Okay, so I'm still learning at my age even. Anyways, Leo, look, the next thing I'm getting is balance. And I love this card. Obviously, who doesn't need or want balance, especially during these trying times? Now, I have the number 11 here. It is a master number. But this card, I really relate to it, to the Magician. I love how he's within a circle. He's like, you know what? I see everything come full circle. But I have all the tools in my arsenal to be able to deal with things. He has his eyes closed, though. He is not concerned about what's going on outside of himself. He's concerned with the battle within, harnessing his double-mindedness and going, yeah, this is what I'm doing, and saying, nay, we are not going to do the double-minded thing. We're not going to continue splitting our mind and banging our head against the wall. We're going to gain a spiritual perspective. We're going to be elevated. I even see this as a protective card. So it could be that you're calling an angel, spirit, God, whomever to really help you. But just know that you have all the resources to pursue and achieve exactly what you want, okay? Leo, I hope this is making sense for you. So, with that, I want to go ahead and pull from here. That's this, the healing cards. So I do not read a lot from these, but we're going to read today. Healing cards. These are healing cards. What can I let Leo know? What to expect for the month of December 2020, please. Okay. It's the Sun, which, hey, it's your card, you guys. It's a Leo card. The world lives and breathes, and we can draw its spirit into us. Fair enough. It says, think rolling waves, warm sun, wet grass, fresh earth, crowded elevator. I don't know about that. Busy streets, birds singing. Get into all the sensations of life today. You don't need a lengthy meditation to connect to nature. Just draw into it. So I think that's really so true. I personally have a really difficult time at times just going into meditation, even though I feel so much better. So if you can start out 2 minutes a day, I kid you not, it will make a big difference. It'll center you. I can feel my tension releasing. My mind gets a lot clearer, more centered, directionally launching me in a trajectory that's just going to be way better for myself. So it really helps me personally. I can't imagine it's not going to help you, dear Leo. Okay? So the next one I have is partnerships and alliances, okay? So you're going to be really focused in December on what and whom to partnership with, whom to form an alliance with, and what to cut out of your life. Because I feel like maybe you guys have been doing things all by yourself, okay? But I have the number 3 here, which stands for cooperation, which stands for all the little cogs working together in order to achieve a greater purpose. It stands for teamwork, creativity. So I think this is a really, really good card if you are especially an entrepreneur trying to do things all by yourself. Throwing in your lot is going to really help to distinguish, set you apart from other people. It's also going to help Like, you're going to boost yourself, you're going to lift someone else up, and I think that that's how partnership really ideally should be. Okay? So don't be afraid of partnerships. Now, when I glance down, I have to tell you, check this out. I have the discontentment and boredom. Okay? Now, this is all green, all lush. So be careful that in your growth spurt, let's say, where you're forming these alliances, these partnerships, and things, that you don't give in to your discontentment, your boredom, and self sabotage. I know what I'm talking about. So, if things are not exciting, I'm a fire sign. That's what I want. I want like things to be poppin'. And if there's too much dullness, too much mundane, too much of like, I'm watching the leaves grow and I'm watching the seeds grow, it just doesn't meet that need, okay, that I have. Now, that need in itself, because it's off balance, can really sabotage me. So, that is a cautionary tale right there. So be careful not to have discontent and boredom. With the green, I would like for you to check in with your heart chakra. Just, I think it was Deepak Chopra. I can't say his name right. But he actually has an exercise where he puts his hand on his heart and he closes his eyes every night and he says, "Heart, what do you want?" And he just gets quiet. And he lets his heart say whatever his heart wants to say, without judgment, without funneling, without siphoning, oh gosh, you know what I'm talking about, without without trying to really pick and choose his terms. He just allows his heart to speak, and that in itself gives him so much peace. So I think that would be a really helpful thing to do, in order to not allow discontent and boredom to really overtake all the progress and undo the good things that you've done. Okay, so that is like the only caution here. Well, too, is your mental conflict and then being bored. That's a major problem for me. Anyways, Leo, once again, if you could please like, share, subscribe, comment to my YouTube channel, I'd really appreciate it. So moving on. Trust your intuition, one of your final messages. Very important you trust your intuition. By the way, I'm going to take a picture of all of your cards, and after the video, I'll clip it to the very end so you can actually take a screenshot of it if you want, because they're beautiful, and it's just nice to be able to see. So I'm not tech savvy, if you can't tell. I'm sure you will be able to tell. I'm just still learning how to put everything together. But I want you to see the cards in the order of how I pulled them. So I did not pull them and then read. I'm pulling them now. Then I'll take a photograph and I'll upload it too. So you have that as well. Trust your intuition this month in December. It's going to be very important. If your gut says no, don't do it. Don't be of double mind. And then, final card, prosperity begins. What? So excited. Look, you guys, you have roots. Again, roots are going to play major importance. I don't even know what this thing is. It's like a seed, but it maybe a seed that sprouted this tree initially, but it doesn't seem to be a part of that tree. Logic says it is. But regardless, maybe you're looking into, again, your genealogy, and you're like, well, it doesn't seem to fit my story, or how did that come? We came from that family tree or whatever. So I'm really interested to find out if this message resonates with you, and please be a little bit specific, because I'm so curious. If anybody else has like ancestry things going on here, I'm fascinated. Anyways, okay, your last card is going to be a firm foundation. Okay, so you are leaving December by the end of it with a firm foundation. With this, I see people maybe have a lot of lower back pain. Your lower back pain, I think it's going to really be helped by getting a firm foundation, financially, mentally, spiritually, whatever. Knowing which way you're headed is going to help that. It's going to ease ailments that are caused directly by having a root foundation that is wonky and not stable, okay? Notice once again the number 4, you have traveled down this huge, huge mountain, even maybe by yourself, feeling lonely, feeling extreme hardship. But you have a firm foundation at last where you could stand naked, meaning like you're not even scared. You're not holding anything back to just be yourself. And I'm really happy for you, Leo. I think you deserve it. I'm so grateful for your time that you gave me just listening to this. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and put this together for you. I hope that you enjoy. If you do, once again, please hit that subscribe button and that bell so you get further notifications